Hello, and welcome to another B&T unboxing video. Today we're going to take a look at how to rebuild an N64 joystick. Let's move the lighting a little bit. So we have is a joystick that I previously repaired. And as you can see, the repair was not successful. The technique I used when I repaired it the first time was wrapping tape around the main, it's not a spindle, but the joystick itself, to create a larger surface to grab onto the gears. And it worked for 5 minutes. And then we got this, loose. It'll work, but it's not good. Making lefts and rights in a driving game aren't sharp. So you hit the wall a lot. But anyhow, so we're going to repair this or rebuild it with some aftermarket replacement pieces. So I have replacement bowl, and I have the replacement gears. And if you're like me and you bought a couple of sets of these, they're all in one bag. But to know which gear is which, the openings are different sizes. Let me see if we can line this up. See, one's a little bit longer than the other, as in the opening, and that's the easiest way to tell which is which. So we're just going to go through the process of rebuilding this. If I remember correctly, the joystick itself, this top piece, was salvageable. If it's not, the website I got this stuff from also has a joystick. I forget the name of the website. I'll put it in the description below where I got everything from. But it was really cheap. The bowl was, I think, $1.15, and the gear set was like 95 cents. So, and I think the joystick piece might have been another $1.50. Shipping was $5 flat. So for after shipping under $7-8, you could completely rebuild your joystick, as opposed to paying some hefty prices for replacement ones. So to open it up, we just need a standard Phillips. So this screw actually needs a PH1 bit. A PH0 is a little bit too small, and you'll end up rounding out the bit itself, or the screw head. So we'll just take that out. And there's a spring inside, if you can see that before we get too far. Oh, it's really hard to see on the camera, but there's a spring in there. We'll see in a second. And just push the top down so you can get the screw out. We'll put that off to the side. And you then need to unhook these plastic hooks right here, these tabs. And the easiest way to do that is to take a flathead and just pry them open. So push down on the front side, it's popping up, and you just want to get underneath it with the flathead and push it over. Alright. Now if you've not opened your joystick before, there will be a lot of plastic powder. So what's been happening, it looks like someone was actually pushing as hard as they could down on the joystick, and they just grind the whole inside of the bowl. And so it's there's a lot of powder that comes out. Like I said, this one I've tried to repair it before, and that was not successful. So it is fairly clean. Should be fairly clean. I only used it once. Alright, we got a gap. There we go. Okay. And then we pull it out. Alright, so we'll start with the top piece. So this is your joystick, top assembly. The camera will focus. That will be amazing. There we go. So we have your top assembly with spring and one of the gear pieces, as you can see, maybe you can see, right here is the tape I had used. Did not do its job right, so that's the top piece. We're going to replace this piece right here and the pieces down here. And this is the bottom bowl. Autofocus is not turned on, even though it says it is. So this bottom piece right here, also replacing along with the bowl. I don't know if the bowl needs to be replaced, but again, at $1.15, why not? And this right here just lifts out. There's nothing holding it in other than dirt. And then the main board lifts out. The board has, if you're wondering how this works, and again, if we can get the focus. Okay, adjusted the light, so let's see if that helps. We have two sensors here and over here, and they track the movement of these wheels inside. And each wheel has a whole bunch of small little holes in it, and these sensors essentially read the holes. So the faster the holes go by, the faster you move in a particular direction. And the two of them work in tandem, and that's how you get all the motion. So we're going to pull that out. Hopefully this is fairly simple. I've done this part before. Oh, that was pretty simple. Alright, so we're just going to have to remove these wheels, move them to this new one. We'll see how that goes. These are definitely something you don't want to break. Look completely identical, so I'm not going to worry about which one needs to go where. And it appears the longer nub piece on here goes into the body of the bowl, and then the smaller piece lines up with this arm looking thing, which again is probably not easy to see, but that's what's happening. There we go. Got one on, and then the other one. And there's these notches right here, so I don't. No, the original one has it too. So you just line up there and slide it down, and pull apart this arm, and if it will line up right. There we go. Alright, so that's it. And you just fit it back into the housing. Set the controller board on top of that. Looks like it's in focus. Alright. And that's step 1. Or 10. Next we want to then put on these gear pieces. So the bigger one goes in first. So that's this one. And it kind of just sits down like that. And the other one, which has that tape all over it. So you just push the spring down, rotate this one, and lift it up. I'm going to get a paper towel and clean this off. I think what happened, I put a little bit of a WD-40 in there, hoping it would help things move smoothly, and I think it might have corroded the tape. Okay, with the tape and the WD-40 removed, we can now continue to add the second piece on. So this one's a little tricky because you have to think upside down. So you want the gears facing up, and see if I can do this with everyone able to see. Alright, this piece right here has to slide over the nub of the joystick, and you can rotate it to lock it in place. Hopefully you can see that. And then the whole assembly, so the joystick, spring, gear, you have to rotate to line it up with this side. So right now we need to rotate everything. Alright, we're going to put the screw back in and see how it feels before we put it back in the controller. Always test, at least feel. You can't really test if it works right until you put it in the controller, but if it doesn't feel right, open it back up. Alright. See, it's not feeling right. Okay, so again, if we're focusing, got some smooth movement going on. And if you're wondering what magic trick I did, was I tightened the screw down too tight. So I backed it off a quarter of a turn, maybe eighth of a turn, very small amount, and essentially what's happening is it was too tight, so the spring wasn't working. Still feels a little loose, but it wasn't usable before, so that's a plus. Let's pop it in the controller and see if it works. Alright, so we got the controller put back together. Still seems to be functional. If you're not sure how to take the controller apart, I have a video about the dismantle of an N64 controller. Hopefully that will give you the insight you need on taking one apart and performing this task. Assuming it works completely, we're going to turn the TV on and check it out. Alright, so we got the TV. Don't have any fancy capture card for the N64, so we're just going to do old school on a period correct CRT TV. Alright, so we're going to test out with a racing game. Usually a good way to see if the joystick's working well. And we'll hopefully things go smoothly on this. It feels good. See if I can make this turn. Yep, that was pretty good. I don't know which buttons to break, so disregard that part. But it feels pretty good. I was testing it originally on a Diddy Kong Racing, and you push as hard as you can and the cart still would slide. Yeah, this is looking a lot better. This is looking a lot better than... It feels a little loose. Not so much an input, but more of a... It just doesn't feel as snug as an original joystick that hadn't been damaged would feel. But it definitely feels good. When you push on it, it responds, which is what you want to happen. So, but there's a little play. There's a little play in it, and that honestly could have to do with I didn't replace the joystick piece itself, so that might, not might, most likely that has also been worn down. So that could be where some of the slop is coming in at. But just compared to what it was, it's totally usable. Whereas before, when I did use the tape, it was not usable at all. So definitely a very dramatic improvement. It's like I said, it's not perfect. Probably should have replaced the joystick, but I figured it didn't really need it. It didn't look bad, but my guess is it does. It sticks a little bit, so maybe if there was some like graphite powder might help that. But overall, for $2 in parts, it is not bad. Yeah, that's probably my only complaint. It seems like it's sticking a little bit, but you're not fighting it, so yeah, take what you can get. So yeah, that was a quick little teardown review on the rebuilding an N64 joystick. I hope you enjoyed this video. It did go a little longer than I was hoping, but hopefully you found it informative, and it's going to help you save a few controls that you have. And again, for $3, well yeah, if you got the joystick piece, $3 to rebuild it in 15-20 minutes, it's not bad. Not a bad deal at all. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and have a great night. Bye-bye.